Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be doing a PvP ranked tier list. Now this is a video I've been wanting to do for quite some time, but I wanted to hold off until I was a little bit higher ranked and I had some PvP matches under my belt. I have that now. I've been grinding PvP a ton, so I thought this would be a perfect time to go ahead and do this tier list. Now, a few disclaimers before we jump into it. First and foremost, this is just my subjective opinion. You're going to have a different one. Let me know what your opinion of these characters and how they should be ranked down in the comment section below. Also, we're not going to be using Endeavor, Stain, or Shigaraki because this is for global PvP and they're not on the global side as of yet. When they start to come out, I'll update the tier list, and that should be a good time and give you my opinions on those characters. I cannot wait for them to come out. And the last thing I did want to mention, I'm gonna try and make this short and sweet. I don't want to make this too long, so we're gonna try and kind of rattle them off as quickly as possible. So with that being said, one last disclaimer. I don't think there's any character that is head and shoulders, leagues above the other characters. I don't think there's any character that is like god tier, separating themselves from the pack that much. Yes, including All Might and Aizawa. I don't think they're like head and shoulders above all the other characters. As of right now, in this current meta, I think every character is, for the most part, pretty even when it comes to Z tier and S tier. Like, for example, there's not going to be All Might in Z tier and then the other characters in S tier. I don't think it's that crazy, so wanted to go ahead and quickly mention that as well. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it, and I'm going to go ahead and start off with All Might. I think All Might is an absolutely fantastic character, and I do believe he belongs in Z tier. He's just very oppressive, he's very aggressive, he's very in your face, he has super armor, he jumps up in the air, he closes the distance, he has tracking, he has that freaking tornado that you cannot stop if you get that man rolling. He's like a domino effect. Once he gets going, it's hard to stop him, but he has his flaws, he has his counters, and he's able to be stopped. I got absolutely washed by characters with me using All Might that you wouldn't think would happen, but when you're playing higher ranked PvP and you're going up against players that know what they're doing, know the matchups, know the character that you're using, All Might can be easily stopped. He's not as oppressive as you think he is once you start getting higher ranked. In the lower ranks, yeah, you could probably wash people all day, every day, because they don't know exactly what they're doing and they're just smashing the buttons just to get All Might rolling. But as you get higher ranked, patience is key, knowing the matchups is key, and All Might, he's definitely still Z tier in my opinion, but he is not, that's where I'm stating he's not like leagues above the other characters. He's not like on a celestial plane on his own, in a sense. Alright, now moving on from there, Momo. Freaking Momo. Let me tell you something. Momo has beaten me more than I can count. Momo is such a freaking nuisance, and Momo actually is one of the best counters to All Might, in my opinion, from what I've seen in my own experience. The way she's able to poke, and another thing is, once Momo gets rolling, jeez, is it really hard to stop her from freaking throwing down turrets, poking you with her spear, throwing down another turret, dodging, poking you with the spear some more. She is such a nuisance. She is so frustrating to play against. And literally, me in the higher ranks, every player that I face has a Momo on their team. And they start out with Momo, which is super smart. Because once you get one or two turrets going, it's just game over. And there's a mechanic in the game where if Momo throws a turret down and you either get killed or you kill Momo, when they're doing that transition phase into another round, those turrets are still hitting you and you're still taking damage, but there's nothing you can do because you're frozen. You're in between rounds. You're waiting for the round to begin with the next character. That's frustrating. That's really, I don't know, they need to patch that. But anyways, I digress. Momo is fantastic to the point where I actually want to try and pull a Momo myself because she's such a great lead character. And once again, once you get Momo rolling, it's hard to stop her. She is just ridiculous. So yes, I believe she belongs in Z tier as well. Moving on from there, I had a lot to say about Momo. Tokyomi, I think Tokyomi is Z tier, especially once you get his combos down, especially when you know how to play Tokyomi properly. You just have to be patient. You have to bide your time, wait for your skills to come back. make sure you keep your distance, and then once you have your skills back, go ahead and start popping them off. Make sure you get your combos rolling. Tokyomi is so much fun. He's a great counter to a lot of characters. It's very hard to engage a really good Tokyomi character, or player, excuse me, if they know what they're doing. He just has a lot of tools, and then he can switch into Dark Shadow and switch it up entirely on you, going from range to close combat, and be really oppressive that way. Tokyomi is a fantastic PvP character. He's my anchor, and I have literally made a full comeback with Tokyomi alone and absolutely 1v3'd entire teams in higher rank PvP with Tokyomi. But he's just that good. I really enjoy him as a character. He has his counters, and obviously, you know, you can really take advantage of Tokyomi if they don't know what they're doing, or if you catch him, because his basic attacks are slow, so it's easy to catch a Tokyomi when he's going through his basic attack strings. But nonetheless, I still think he's absolutely fantastic in Z tier. Now, the next character, I'm going to go ahead and put them up here, but I don't have experience with them. But I feel as if they would probably be here. I just need to obtain them and be able to play with them, but that's Aizawa, and that's just because of all that I heard with him. Now, Aizawa, if you don't know, did get a massive nerf to his cow drops. They don't flinch anymore, and I think that's huge because you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, you still take the bleed damage and you do get slowed, but once you catch him, not getting flinch is just huge. It makes him a little more balanced. And I played a few Aizawa players. Obviously, he's brand new, so a lot of people have to get better with him, get more experience with him. So the Aizawa players I played, he's good. He's really good. I gotten beaten, but I beat a few Aizawa players. I just don't have him myself, so I don't know. But I'm going to go off of what people have been saying. I will just put him in Z tier for right now. Let me know in the comments down below if he should be in a different tier. But that's where I'm going to go ahead and place him for just right now. Bakugo. So I don't have Bakugo personally, but the Bakugo players I have played, it just hasn't really been a threat for me. I could see where Bakugo could be really good if you practice with him and you get really good with him. I could see the damage output. I could see the potential, but it's just not there right now. And for higher ranked PvP, you don't even really see that many Bakugos, to be quite honest with you. So I'm going to put him in B tier. I don't think he's terrible, but I just haven't seen a good one just yet. I'm sure that's going to change here relatively soon. Now, Ida I think is really good. I'm going to put him in A tier. I don't think he's necessarily S tier, but Ida I think was super underestimated and undervalued in the beginning of this game. But once content creators started unlocking his potential, being able to show what he's capable of, he's actually really, really good. If he's able to catch you in a combo, he's able to do tons of damage, and he's able to keep you in that combo for a long period of time. And if you're aggressive with Ida, you can catch people off guard. He does have some super armor on his skills, so I think he's great, and I think he's absolutely fantastic. Froppy, you don't see that often. I haven't used her personally. I think she's decent. I don't think she's terrible, but I just don't think she fits in higher ranked PvP. And I should have probably made this quite apparent in the beginning. This is for higher ranked PvP, obviously, and Froppy just, I don't think fits there. I think she's good. I think she has some good tools, but I don't think she's necessarily in the higher ranked PvP per se. Todoroki. I really like Todoroki. I think he has tons and tons of potential. I'm going to go ahead and put him in the S tier. If you match up with a really good Todoroki player that knows what they're doing, they can get the combos off properly. He's going to do tons of damage, and he's going to be very troublesome to deal with. Being able to switch between the two elements and knowing which one to have on said character that you're going up against. So, for example, if you're facing up against an Uraraka, make sure you're in your ice form to take her out of the skies. If you're facing up against All Might, I would opt for the fire form to be able to stop him in his tracks. Even the ice form for All Might as well would do perfectly fine. Going up against Tokyomi, probably the fire form. Just knowing those matchups is going to be instrumental, but also being able to do the combos properly, making sure you know exactly what you're doing. Todoroki is technical and he's hard to play, so you don't see him too often, and then when you do see him players aren't usually the best with them, but I've seen and I played against some really good Todoroki players and got absolutely washed by them. So I think he is S caliber. He has that potential. I just haven't unlocked it yet. For me, if I was playing him, he'd probably be like B, but a really good Todoroki player, I think he's S. Ojoro, I honestly, I think I played maybe one Ojoro this whole time, and I just don't know. I really don't know. I'm gonna put him in B tier because I don't think he's bad, but you just don't see him. I haven't played him personally, so I'm gonna put him in B tier and just leave it at that. Deku, Deku. I would put Deku S tier. Deku's really good. That teleport is really good. His combo and damage potential is really good. He has a lot of good skills and abilities that make Deku, I think, S tier. I'm almost tempted to put him in A tier. He's really good, man. He's really good. I'm gonna keep him in S tier. He's really good. Everybody's played Deku, they know. Even higher rank, you still see Deku, but you don't see him as often because higher ranked, you're running into characters that can really counter him well. But he's good. He still matches up really well with other characters. Uraraka, man. I absolutely adore Uraraka. If I was being biased, I would put Uraraka in the Z tier. I love her, man. She's my main. I've mained her since day one. She's absolutely fantastic. She is so good in so many areas. Her combos are so fun. She matches up well against other characters, a lot of other characters. But if I'm being unbiased, I would put her S tier because I don't think she's necessarily on the same playing field as those characters at the top. But she's definitely, like, if I was put her in the S tier, I'd probably put her at the top of the S tier. Like, Todoroki, you gotta go down one. I would probably do this. Uraraka's fantastic, man. Uraraka with their meteor, being able to float. Her attacks counter Deku perfectly. She's very fast with her basic attacks. She just has a lot of tools in her kit. She's fantastic. I love Uraraka. Can't say enough about her. Fantastic character. Kaminari, D tier. Kaminari, D tier. I don't care what anybody says. Kaminari just is not that great. He's just not that great. And once you start getting higher rank PvP, you don't really see him at all. Just because he just gets overwhelmed. I understand keeping your distance. I understand having skills to get people off of you. But it's just not enough. He needs more. His basic attacks on his 1, 2, and 3 need to flinch. And that would make Kaminari instantly better. But as of right now, with them not flinching, people just run through it, skill through it, and just overwhelm Kaminari, and there's not much that they can do. So he's D tier. Mineta. You don't really see too many Minetas either. I'm gonna go B tier. I know he's good. I know he has capabilities. Excuse me. I know he has potential, but I'm gonna go B tier for Mineta. I haven't used him personally. I don't really plan on it. He's just very niche, you know. But he's fun nonetheless. But I would put him B tier. And then Kiroshima, last but not least, Kiroshima is most definitely S tier. Most definitely S tier. Hyper armor, counter, being able to close the gap with his charge attack, his damage potential, his combo abilities. Kiroshima has it all. I'm damn near tempted to put him in the Z tier, but he has it all. Kiroshima is fantastic, counters a lot of characters, figuratively and actually, whatever that expression is. Kiroshima is great, an absolutely fantastic character, and you see him in ranked PvP, especially higher ranked PvP, all the time. So this is my tier list, guys. I feel comfortable with this. As I play more and as we get more characters like those down below, I will update this in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think, and once again, let me know where you would rank these characters on your PvP tier list. I hope you enjoyed. If you clicked on this video or if you stayed for the entire video, excuse me, I appreciate you a ton. And I mean a ton. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anyways, let me go ahead and get out of here. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. And until next time, my boys, until next time, it's your homie Cody TT, and I'm out. Bye, guys.